Hey, good morning. It's day 53 of the daily Spark questions, and it is Sunday morning, 9:44 a.m. I woke up at like 1:44 a.m. and and I had to get up because as I lay there, the pressure in my sinuses was mounting, mounting, mounting. I don't know what happened. It was like a full-on attack explosion, and so I got up. I went through like a box of tissues and then finally wore myself out, went back to bed for an hour. You know that when you go back to sleep, it's my favorite. Like when you lay down after you've been awake, but it's like you feel fatigued, so you lay down. I love that feeling because my body felt like alive and my mind was alive, and like my mind's eye was so active, like it was just like a carousel, a really fast carousel of like imagery. But I'm still tired, and I'm sort of like sleeping but maybe not super deep, I don't know. So anyway, but I love that feeling. It's like, have you ever had an I know this isn't the vehicle for this conversation, but the, have you ever had out of body experiences? That's usually when they happen. Like for me, when I hear other people talk about it, it's like you wake, what's it called? Wake back to sleep method. And maybe it's from the Monroe Institute. I don't know. I take in so much information. It's like, where did it come from? Uh, I no longer feel bad about that. I think we're moving into a time where I used to be like, oh God, get it together. One track, jack of all trades, master of none. And then I started hearing there was like another end to that phrase that says better than master of none. Wait, better than master of one. Something like that. See? I don't even get it right. But I am sleep deprived. And anyway, so that's kind of the state of mind I'm in. I'm still like half awake. My mind feels very like, you know, ooh. And but have you ever had an out of body experience where, because I go through phases where I'll have them all the time, like all the time, and um, some lucid dreaming, but mostly out of body experience. And I've come to try to understand the difference in me anyway. And over the years, I've had so many trippy things happen in my sleep state, my sleep thing, and like so this morning would have been the perfect recipe for that, but I didn't go there with that intention. Now I feel like I have more influence based on my intention, but I was just like, dude, I just need this to settle down. And finally, I went to sleep for a little bit and woke up and went through another box of tissue. So I don't know what's going on. I don't feel sick. It's just like, so anyway, that was a lot of pointless stuff, but and a lot of tangents. Okay, so day 53, let's start over. What happens when I let experience remain ambiguous rather than resolved? What happens when I let experience remain ambiguous rather than resolved? Oh my God. First of all, I love ambiguity. I love it. I love when things are like unclear, when they're obscure, when they're weird, because I love drawing connections between apparently like disparate, unrelated, left field, right field things. Just like, I love that because to me, that's where creativity happens, and that's where ultimate truths are found. Like, it, it makes me think like we're moving back to what we're moving. I feel it, man. We're moving into a phase of humanity where we are done with the like the master like mindset. Where, and I talked about this. It must be a feeling we're feeling lately if it keeps coming back around. When I think about tarot, again, I'm in the wrong vehicle for this, maybe. So there's no wrong. We're like our whole lives, like I'm 48, so my whole life, let's just say, I don't know how old you are or what happened when you're growing up and you're part of the world, but here it was like you do one thing and you do it to the best of your ability every day until you die. And you better figure out what that one thing is, or you're gonna get shamed the hell out of just living your fullest life. It's just like um Midwest here, US Midwest. So I never fit in. I just never from day one fit in. I was like, I get bored so like just unchallenged. I shouldn't say bored, unchallenged so quickly that I'm just like, I want to do something new. And I'm only like a couple months into a job, and it's like, so I never fit in even from day one. Yeah, it took me a long time to stay even one whole year at a job. And when I hit that year mark, I was like, whoa. So, how is this related? Oh, the loving ambiguity and connecting the dots and not letting things resolve. Like I was always moving on before anything had a chance to resolve. It would catch up eventually. It would integrate into my lived experience eventually. I was like, oh, so that's how those skills 5 jobs ago are helping me now. Oh, okay. I never stayed anywhere long enough to have it integrate in the job I was in. I'm using jobs and as an example. It's also relationships, it's also friendships, it's like other things that I've worked on. This is my cold brew. So, because I need to wake up. So, I love when things don't resolve in the moment because I have a deep trust that it'll find me. It'll find me when it's meant to find me. And that's how I know it's integrated and that that was part of my journey. And it was always meant to be part of my journey. Um, so, what happens when I let experience remain ambiguous rather than resolved? Deep wisdom, deep, and this came up yesterday, embodied wisdom. When I say it's like integrated into my lived experience, to me that's like, and it just comes out as flow, not even trying to cognitively recall a skill, but somewhere in there, like that skill or skill sets over here connecting with one right here, and then and it's coming out. Like that's embodied wisdom that's flowing out of me when I let experience remain ambiguous. Like I don't have to know, meaning like in this moment, the experience I'm having, I don't have to know what it means. I've given up. I don't know if I ever tried to make it. I think that was just baked into me. Luckily, I'm so grateful for that that I never like felt like I was banging my head on a wall to like make meaning out of what I was doing. I was just following my passion of like, ooh, this looks interesting. Like when at the internet boom, like in the late 90s, I was like, first of all, I I got on AOL in 1995. Again, not an early adopter, not the earliest adopter, but in 95, I was like moved out into my own apartment, 18 years old. I'm like, what's this AOL thing? It wasn't even called the internet then. Like we said AOL instead of internet. And I was like, oh, it's a whole new world. And people, I can connect with people from all over the world. It was wild. And I met my soon to be partner on AOL in a chat room. And we were together 7 years and we still keep in touch today. He's one of my favorite people. I call his family my second family. Like we were like, and he was in Los Angeles, California, and I'm in like a little town in the Midwest. You think everybody thought I was crazy when I moved out there? Hell yeah. So, but in the moment, I wasn't trying to make meaning. And that's just one of like 1,000 bazillion examples of my wild like nonsensical life. Nonsensical as in it was so ambiguous in the moment, but eventually I was like, oh yeah, stuff does catch up, and it like informs everything I do. And I don't have to know how it works. And I think that's so liberating if we let go of that meaning making, like uh neuroticism. I don't know what to call it. Like when we're just like, so that's like just one little example, but I love when my experience remains ambiguous, because what I also think of back to creativity is like all these other feelings I have about wanting to connect with people like authentically and deeply and weirdly. Like weird meaning like what is so unique about you? You could just throw it out there as a non sequitur, as totally off topic from what we're discussing. And I'd be like, yeah, you are rad. So like I want more of that where we're just like it allows a spontaneity, doesn't it? When we're not in the moment, like that recursive wheel that keep, well, it's more like backwards of like, have experience, what's it mean? Have experience, what's it mean? It's like, no, just like it's flow state, baby. So I love this question. I feel so grateful that whatever, however I became that way, from birth, I am so grateful for that. Even though there have been times where I wasn't grateful because of the shame and the conditioning that was tried to be put onto me from being that way. So if you're just a little baby human, fresh little 18-year-old watching this, don't conform to the status quo. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's full of regret. It's full of following the dead end paths in life. I swear it. Follow your gut, which is what lights you up. Okay, that's enough for my little 18-year-old motivational speech. I didn't have that back then. Like the internet, like oh God, were you around? It was the Wild West, like AOL chat rooms. No one was like an influencer. No one was like, I've got it all figured out. Here, guys. It was just people wide-eyed hopping into a chat room with just a screen name. There were no avatars. There was just this like a, I don't know, 8 letter, because things couldn't go beyond 8 letters back then, like file names. What? But like jumping into a chat room, which was just like a white screen, and off to the side, a list of names constantly shifting based on who was popping in and out. And so you're like, oh, oh my God, all these people I can connect with and get to know and like blow my mind open. And we're all just ASL, 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 which means age, sex, location. That was like the first little thing of like how to get to know somebody, was like, isn't that funny? That's how we categorize who we might connect with more deeply, is like age, sex, location. That's what it was then. Now gender and all that is a much broader topic. But back then it was like, I kind of wanted, I know if I want to connect with, what age range, like for friendship or otherwise, what sex, back then it was called sex, uh, for friendship or otherwise, and then location. It was like, well, if we ever want to meet in person, maybe I want local. If I'm broadening my horizons, maybe I'm looking to connect with people farther away. It's just like those 3 elements, those 3 attributes and a screen name that might show a little bit of your quirkiness. And it was just like a little bit of personality coming through in addition to the hardcore fact attribute parts of you. And that's all we had. And it was fun. It was just fun. And it was rapid fire. That's when we really started speeding up, is like, because up until then, friend making was just like so slow. It was like, it wasn't like speed dating, it was just like so slow. And then all of a sudden it was like, so those of us like adopting it were the first ones to be like, oh God, we gotta speed up. So I'm sorry, world. We started it. Just kidding. Those who created the tools, I guess, started it. And there probably wasn't a lot of thought as to like, oh, what might happen with this format. But we won't go there. I just love like it was just the Wild West and wide open and curious and spontaneous and exploratory and all the qualities that spoke to me being from a small town in the Midwest where everybody was trying to like get you in one lane, and it's like, no. So I think I'm done. This was a weird one, but I just love this question. I don't want things to resolve in the moment. Resolution to me, it's not a finality. To me, that goes back to my North Star of like coherence. Like with this idea of letting things resolve is like, oh, I trust they're going to resolve in their own time based on my own inner alchemy process. Like whatever. Like it to me, I'm a black box sometimes. Like you drop stuff in, I don't know how it works. It'll spit out something at some point. I'm just going to keep dropping stuff into my black box. No ability to see it inside, like what gears, what secret sauce, what, what's going on in there. I don't need to know. Honestly, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to know because then I might feel like, oh, let's be a little engineer with it. Let's start tinkering with it. And it's like, no, that is my unique, like my gearbox, my soup pot, like whatever you want to call it. Like it's the thing that does what it does out of its own inner wisdom. What I do have influence over and curiosity over, actually, curiosity about is like, ooh, I have influence over what things I drop in there. Because what alchemy does is like, actually, I don't know what alchemy, I just like the word, but it's like this the way things transmute within me. And it's like, if I drop in some more ingredients, that's going to flavor my unique soup, right? So it will get integrated, alchemized, transmuted, and turn into this beautiful coherence within my body. And it will become part of my embodied wisdom. And then, like, my outputs are going to be like every little thing I've dropped in is going to be infused into my outputs. I gotta go. Bye.